And now, back to the story. In Genesis 12, we find Abram walking through a season of testing. A severe famine strikes the land of Canaan, forcing him to journey down into Egypt for survival. What should have been a time of trust became a moment of fear. Abram, worried about his own safety, asked Sarai to say she was his sister so that the Egyptians would not kill him because of her beauty. When they arrived in Egypt, Sarai's beauty caught the attention of Pharaoh's officials. She was taken into Pharaoh's house. Abram was treated well for her sake, given livestock and servants. Yet what Abram had feared most was now his reality. His wife was taken into another man's household, all because of his fear-driven plan. But God did not abandon them. In his faithfulness, he struck Pharaoh and his household with great plagues, revealing the truth of Sarai's identity. Pharaoh, angered and grieved, confronted Abram, asking why he had deceived him. In the end, Pharaoh returned Sarai to Abram and ordered them to leave Egypt with all that they had gained. This passage teaches us about God's faithfulness to his people. Despite Abram's fear and deception, God remained true to his promises. Let's delve deeper. First, we see God's people acting out of fear rather than faith. Abram and Sarai's decision to deceive the Egyptians reveals their fear of the unknown and a lack of trust in God's protective power. They chose to rely on their own understanding rather than submitting to God's plan. This reminds us that fear can cause us to make unwise decisions. However, it's important to remember that God understands our weaknesses, and he doesn't hold our mistakes against us. Secondly, we witness God's judgment against those who harm his people. The plagues sent upon Pharaoh and his household demonstrate God's righteous anger against anyone who tries to harm his covenant family. It shows that God will not tolerate the mistreatment of those whom he has chosen. At the same time, it reveals God's mercy, as these judgments were not intended to destroy, but to correct and restore. Finally, we see God's faithfulness in protecting his people. Despite Abram's and Sarai's failings, God remained committed to their welfare. He ensured their physical safety by exposing the deception and bringing Sarai back to Abram. Furthermore, God blessed them with material possessions, demonstrating his care for their well-being. As we reflect on this passage, let's remember that God is faithful to his promises even when we are unfaithful to him. He is ready to forgive us when we turn back to him and strengthens us when we face the consequences of our actions. The story of Abram and Sarai reminds us that while we may sometimes act out of fear or make mistakes, God's love and faithfulness never waver. He is our protector and provider, and he desires a sincere and trusting relationship with us. Let's commit ourselves to living lives guided by faith rather than fear, knowing that God's faithfulness will sustain us through our weaknesses. I hope this has been an encouragement to you. May you find strength and comfort in God's unwavering love and faithfulness in your life. If you enjoyed this message, please share it with your friends and family. Until we meet again, I wish you peace, strength, and God's blessings in your life today.